I am Princess with the Real. This is 2HotRadio, the party app. And y'all know I don't do no small talk. I want to get straight to it. I want to let my guest introduce himself and let you know what he here to discuss today.
What's going on, everybody? It's Latino. We are here to talk about the film Hear My Cry that's coming to theaters April 17th. That our producer is James Wright, Sterling McGee, and JJ Kibbe.
Now, I seen the trailer for this one, and I got questions. I want to first know, like, whose train of thought did y'all get this from? Like, who lived this? Is it a true story?
Wow.
Like, give me the facts on it.
Yeah. So Hear My Cry for me came when I wrote it. I write for a lot of people. I'm considered even a ghostwriter. I do write publicly for a lot of people. The story has a little bit to do with my life in the sense of the two biggest issues. I believe the two biggest failures we have in this world is the foster care system and the church. And the other big failure we have is the criminal justice system. And so I wanted to create a faith-based film that covered all these without bashing them to an extent, because we never want to get anybody's bad side, especially as minorities in the society we live in. Last thing we want to do is upset, a certain race of folks. But the problem is that things go unaddressed and things go unspoken of, and it's very upsetting. So what I wanted to do when I wrote Hear My Cry was really talk about real issues in a way that a faith-based film won't be corny. We have, action-packed scenes. We had stunt people from Superman, Batman, Spider-Man come on set, do our stunts for us. Um, really invest into not a Christian side, but a faith side, the underdog story. What happens when your family is torn apart by circumstances you can't control. Also in the film, we show, a lot of times the men are in the wrong. This time the women are in the wrong. And really address it from a side of forgiveness and faith, man, and family. And we did, our staff and our cast and our crew did such a phenomenal job, and that's why we're getting a lot of attention right now, addressing those things in a way that is relevant to everybody, and we're not bashing people, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, we have a gentleman, Jeff Hoover, great actor. Jeff has done Hunger Games and other films, playing the chief of police, who's a Caucasian man that was married to a black woman. His wife died, and he has a black daughter. Interesting,
Mm.
because what do you do when everybody's such against the police right now, but your daddy is a white chief of police? And we address those things in this
Mm.
film.
Okay, so you're addressing a lot of that. And how did you feel
Absolutely.
going into this? Did you feel like it was gonna be a bad thing addressing all of this stuff in the movie?
I didn't think, first of all, this film was going to be as big as it is. Um, this is my director's debut for film. I direct television now. And so when we were going into it, it was interesting because we have a primarily all black crew and cast. I'm Hispanic. So even for an Hispanic man who doesn't clearly understand everything that our black family goes through, um, it made it very, very difficult to understand at first. And then going into it, I was a little bit nervous. And I was a little bit nervous because I didn't know how the black community would receive me as a Latino director directing a film that has to do with the the voice the voice of the black community. Does that make sense? So for me, knowing that I do move in the black community, and I'm very well accepted as a director, but I wasn't sure how people to react, because you really don't know how people are going to react to actually bring the topic up. And so it was interesting for me because they received me with open arms, yeah, but it really hit home, really understanding what I wrote about, watching it being acted out with these. I mean, when I tell you phenomenal actors, I mean, we don't have any lightweights here. And they literally did such a tremendous job carrying out the vision, because here's the issue is that we don't have to be uh, a certain race to speak on things that are wrong. You understand? We
Yeah,
don't have
yeah.
to. It takes an understanding and education to understand what you're speaking about. And so for me, sitting down with James, right, the executive producer, and sitting down with JJ Kibbe, say, look, here's what I got. Sterling McGee, here's what I got. And then all of a sudden now, it's like, wow, it's made even more clear to me. So the vision was carried out exactly the way it was written.
Okay, okay. And I did catch the trailer, so like, I don't want to give away the movie. I don't want you to give it away because I'm one of the people that like I like to see the movie. I don't like people to give away too much in the
Yeah,
trailer. So I feel like the trailer was like it gave you enough to make you want to watch it. But
yeah,
so without saying
yeah.
too much, tell me a little
Let's
bit
break it down.
about
Yeah, let's break it
your
down.
process.
Oliver. The story is about two little boys named Blake and Oliver. I just saw you record, but we good. These two little boys have a father named Jonathan and their mother Victoria. And Jonathan was an assistant district attorney, high-end black family, powerful family. Jonathan prosecuted a case against a gang called the West Side Killers. And what ends up happening is that to retaliate, the gang goes in during a home invasion and kills the parents, but leaves the two little boys. There's even in the film, in the trailer, there's even a standoff between one of the little boys and the gang member where he literally picks up the gun and points it at the gang member. The significance is that from there, it fast forwards 22 years. The little boys were too young to remember each other. Um, uh, Blake ages out of the foster care system and ends up rolling with the same gang that killed his parents, and he doesn't know that. Oliver ends up getting adopted by a pastor and becomes a cop. And the significance of the church and the police right now, so we ran it so strategically, but what ends up happening is that in the trailer, you guys will see that the first lady of the church is murdered. And when they run when forensics runs the diagnostics, it comes up to a similar match of her son. So her son is sat down, her son is sat down, and they figure out, yo, I have a little brother. Interesting, right? And he's running with the same crew that killed my biological mom and dad. So and now you kill my new mother, apparently. So what ends up happening in the story is two detectives. There's Juan and Jocelyn Diaz. They're assigned to the case. I'm playing Juan in this film, and they're a couple going through a divorce. So not only are we showing the reality of the crime, but we're also showing the reality of what goes on behind the scenes. They're going through a divorce. He doesn't want to see her. She cheated on him with a rookie from the department. It's a big mess. He was embarrassed, but they're forced to come together. And then they call upon another. And by the way, Candace Boyd's R&B sensation, Candace Boyd, she plays Jocelyn Diaz. And then we got Sierra LeVay Broadway, who plays another detective named Olivia Patterson, who's brought in for the narcotics division to help with this case as well. And Olivia's going through her thing where she went on a federal case, left her husband and her child by themselves for 9 months. She's losing her family. She's losing it all in the midst of investigating this case. And we have other heavy hitters in this film as well. Lyric Rashay plays my sister, who's brought in to help me kind of figure out not only my personal life but also this case. And this story, when the brothers go into a standoff at the end of the film, there is tragedy, there's a murder, there's a shooting, and I don't want to get into it too much, but we're really talking about family and forgiveness. Two things that people really don't want to address. Oh, my brother pissed me off, or my sister did me wrong. Yo, there's another film that I'm in coming out this December called The Christmas Rain. That I it'll be on Netflix on Christmas Eve. And in the film, I state a line that says, your hurt, your scars, and your pain, they aren't your fault, but the healing process is your responsibility. And what I believe is that so many people aren't willing to go through the process of the healing. Like I refuse. I'm at a point in my life where I I I address these things in the film because I got locked up. I've been locked up before, and
Mm-hmm.
I got locked up for international drug trafficking and money laundering. It's no secret. Everybody knows. But
Mm-hmm.
even I still fight the people that still continue to hold it over my head, and whether or not I'm going to forgive these people or move on for the stuff that they're doing. Forgiveness is key to not block your blessing. I'm telling you. Like a lot of us, well, they can't be around me, da 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 da, or I can't work with this person because she said this. Look, I gotta love you. I ain't gotta like you. Everybody says I gotta like you, but I ain't gotta love you. No, I
Yeah.
have to love you. I have to love everybody. I don't have to like you to make money with you, but I have to
Yeah.
respect you. Everybody says respect is earned. Nah, respect is given. You have to give it. And so really the things I want to address here is that it's not only in the Spanish community, in the white community, it's every community is going through some kind of personal issue with themselves. Hurt and pain is generational. Hurt and pain goes through
But so
everybody.
what made you want to write the movie about the black culture? It's now, and this is just me, being, devil's
Absolutely,
advocate, you
absolutely.
know, being that you are Hispanic, what made you say, I want to write this about the black culture instead of about the Hispanic culture? Because, like you said, every culture goes through something.
My daughter is biracial, and 99% of my time is with the black culture. Um, let me say this to you: when we were doing cast interviews, Jeff Hoover, who's one of the only white brothers in the whole cast, we sat him down and we asked him a question, and it's actually going to get released to MSNBC and stuff like that. But we asked him a question. We said, um, "White cop, black daughter." He paused and he said something. He said, "I'm not black. I will never be black. I'll never understand the hurt the black community goes through. I'll never understand why the wrongdoing is going against them. But once we're educated, I'll have a better understanding." Think about that. So the reason I did it, because I have a young daughter who is growing up in this black culture with us. And if we're not breaking generational curses and building generational wealth, I don't have a movie to make. I mean, that's the reality of it. So here's this little biracial little girl, and then all, I don't want to get too much into it, but everybody around me is black. And I'm in the middle of watching all this hurt and pain go. Because the thing is, we discuss the hurt and pain, but we never give a solution. And I understand the Black Lives Matter movement. Shout out to Justin, the guys. I respect them. I'm very heavily involved. I understand, now that I'm educated on it, what really they're going through. I'll never really feel the actual hurt of the black community, but I carry it with me because I'm a part of it. Okay. So once I became educated with the whole thing, it was like, wow, the problems we really do have. The problems we really, because even though every community is going through it, the one suffering the most is who? The black community. And I wanted to make a multicultural movie that our white families and our black families, Hispanic families, Asian families can all come together and watch to really see what the issues are. And yes, I'm
And
getting
so when
slack for it.
and that's the other thing is, so when doing this, because those questions are gonna come, what have you heard in the process of creating this film? Has there been anybody saying, hey, you shouldn't do that, maybe you should change the script up, trying to discourage you, or what has kept you motivated towards, putting this out there?
Hope has kept me motivated. Um, Being able, so many directors say, if I can give a message of hope, I don't want a message of hope. Messages seem to fade. I want a word that's going to stand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've been catching flack. We all know that. Brother just got out of prison so many years ago. Now he's over here cutting faith-based films. God is real, y'all. God is real. I'll tell you that right now. Regardless of what you believe in, God's been good to me. I'll tell you that right now. On the culture side, funny enough, I'm catching more slack from probably the white community than I am the black community. The black community's been real cool with me. They've been like, wow, wow, wow. The white community's kind of looking at it like, oh, you only have 2 white cast members. It's like damned if we do, damned if we don't. We put them in the film, we're damned. If we don't put them in the film, we're damned. A good friend of mine, Jeff Hoover, who plays Chief Jackson. I keep going back to Jeff. Um, when I reached out, when he kind of reached out, but we reached out too. Makes sense. Jeff's kind of a hard guy to get, and the first question is, well, why don't I have an audition? I said, because you're the only white brother that actually submitted for the gig. It was a national casting call. They held it in an arena,
Mm.
and still, because
Mm.
we're not labeled a black film, but we gave the opportunity to anybody. There was no white auditions at all. And so
So they
Jeff
didn't
kind of
even show
chuckled about
up.
it. Nope. And it was
Oh
everywhere.
wow.
Everybody
So
seen it everywhere.
okay, okay. So that makes sense. It makes sense as to why there wasn't a lot of whites in it. But would you have put a lot of white people in it if a lot of whites had showed up, or
I
would
would
you
have put
already
white
made up your
folks.
mind?
No, I would have put more white folks in it, in a sense of letting them go through the same things we go through, but on their end, just to show that, like
Okay.
how deep it is. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, I don't, people say I don't see color. We all see color. Listen, we do. You know, black, white, Hispanic, we all see it. I get mixed up for Arabic a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because I speak Arabic and I have Arabic friends, and then I'm looked at a whole different way, especially while boarding an airplane. Let's keep call a spade
Mm.
a spade. You know what I'm saying? So I think what it is that because we're so because because white folks see us as angry people, that they're afraid to be around us after clowning us. I'll just call a spade a spade.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And the minute
Mm.
the opportunity arises to be around us, all of a sudden it's like, because like I said, this was a big casting call. We had over 1,200 submissions. It was a large casting call. But the
Mm.
more I thought about it, I was kind of upset. Like, white folk getting at me in line that I won't casting. No, the casting was open to everybody, and it was, watch this. Nobody even knew the races of the people until the casting call, and I
That was
listed
going to
it:
be in the movie.
Caucasian. Yeah, nobody knew that it was a
Oh
primarily black
wow.
cast. But the minute you
Oh
hear
wow.
a Latino direct, it's funny. Let me say this, because the way I got the name Latino was every set I would be on, it was something racial that pissed me off that turned into a label. Oh, who's the first AD, or who's the casting director? Oh, the Latino guy, because nobody
Mm.
could remember Jonathan. So everything was the Latino guy. It used to infuriate me. When I tell you infuriate me, because I'd be the only one on set. And not only being a
Mm.
felon, not only coming out of prison, coming out of jail, coming out of this, coming out of that, now I got to deal with racist folks. So I took that whole thing. You know what, Latino? That sounds kind of cool. And now everybody knows me, and I'm happy. Watch this. Everybody knows my dirt. Everybody knows the good, the bad, the ugly, because I can be transparent as Latino to everybody. I'm a girl dad. I'm a
Mhm.
single dad of a beautiful little girl. I'm a girl dad, and the same thing. She called me Latino. That's how it is. When she wants something, it's either Poppy or Daddy, but she calls me Latino, and I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay. What I've learned, what I've learned is to stop explaining yourself to people that are committed to misunderstanding you. That's number one.
Mhm.
If you want to call me Latino, let's rock with it. Call me Latino. Call me whatever you want. Essentially, I don't care. Living in Hawaii, they teach you a lot. I've been in Hawaii for about 8 years now, and living in Hawaii, they teach you how to push away the bad, how to see the good in everybody. How to grant
Mhm.
grace to people. We believe in Ohana, which is family. We treat everybody as such. And so I've learned just to deal with, listen, whenever you work in Hollywood, if you ever want to direct a film or be a part of a crew, it's one big multiple personality disorder. Like, like you got to learn how to handle everyone.
Everybody.
And I thank God that He's just given me. If there's one thing everybody will say about me on set that's worked with me in films, and that literally I have the most patience out of anybody you've ever seen. I will be patient with you, patient, but I'm quick to fire somebody. Don't get me wrong, but I'll be patient, 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 and that's really what this film has taught me. It's amazing, and I'm really enjoying the process of the whole thing.
And so, talk about a little bit of the work that you've done, before this film, and then some of the work that you have coming up as well. Because I know this isn't the only thing that you got on your hat.
No, no, cat's out of the bag. So I'm contracted for uh, four more films with full distribution, which is very rare. I mean, it really hasn't hit the press that hard yet. Um, um, I've been in the industry 15 years, man. 15 years getting coffee, pushing papers, saying yes sir and no sir to people you just want to call an a-hole. You know what I'm saying? I've had the privilege of working with some dope people, Mr. Tyler Perry. Right now, we're working with the Rue brothers now on stuff. Uh, you know, uh, it's been a process. I finally given my director's chair and say, hey, it's your turn. 15 years. Don't give up, y'all. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Because when it does happen, it just happens. I only personally started acting a year and a half ago, right? And
Mm.
and when I started acting, there's only a few Latinos. Myself, Michael Pena, Luis Guzman, John Linguiano. There's only a few of us. John Seta. There's only a few of us, a handful of us. So when I got picked to do a role, and I can't talk about the role, but I got picked to do a role, and big role coming to theaters. and they said, hey, the Spanish boy we got, he's racist, and we need to swap him out. Okay, cool. And now it's taken off to the film, the Christmas movie I just did. We were just issued a saga to it, so that's going to be picked up. I'm also can't get too much into it, but I'm working with Sister Act 3 right now in the movie Black Adam right now. Yeah, so I can't talk too much about it, but IMDb says a lot. So if you guys just go in and look me up, I'm up there. Y'all can be nosy yourselves. Um, but we have another film coming out called Josiah's House. We start filming here in a couple of weeks. We actually leave for our world tour for this film in about less than 24 hours. So the
Oh wow.
international release is first in Mexico, so we'll be off to Mexico here in less than 24 hours. But Josiah's House is a story of a guy who he's training for the heavyweight championship boxing title of the world. And while he's doing that, he's also runs an all boys group home called Josiah's House. And Josiah's House is a place where our boys of color go because nobody else wants them in the foster care system right now. And these boys are constantly beating each other up, constantly fighting. I mean, these are the runs to the litter, okay? And so one day, Micah, who is the boxer, he's looking through his closet at Josiah's house and finds a case with trophies in there for an under 18 boxing tournament that happens every year. So what he does is he's teaching these little boys how to become men, because remember, a young man can't grow to be something he can't see. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So he decides to take all these badass little kids, and they bad. And Quintavious Howard is going to play Solomon in the lead, he's in our movie. If you guys don't know who Quintavious Howard is, we call him Q. We call him Q almost every movie he does with us now. Quintavious Howard has a story behind him of abandonment, and I don't want to get too much into it for respect of the personal story. But him playing out these roles and playing the informant in our movie and showing how kids are growing up too fast and kids are becoming victims of their surroundings because we're not taking the time to educate our kids, Princess. We're not, So what happens is in the film, he's playing the role of Solomon, and Solomon is making it through this whole boxing thing. Yeah, he's excited to be a boxer. But what happens when the man he loves, Micah, is paralyzed and he can no longer be a part of his life? And it's a powerful story. So that comes out in November. That'll be in theaters in November. We start filming that here in a couple of weeks. What else we got going? Netflix. So Quintavious Howard, we have a pilot being done now called The Life of Q. Jeff Hoover, who plays in our movie, is playing Q's dad.
Okay.
What happened when a foster boy goes to an all-white family? It's a comedy. It's a real comedy, almost like Blackish, almost. And he has black neighbors that are helping him raise this little black boy who he just arrested 2 weeks prior for robbing a little bodega. So we're working on that. We have so many projects going out. We're posting casting calls everywhere. I know 2HotRadio is doing big things. I just ran into you guys in Atlanta a couple weeks ago for All-Star Weekend. You guys really showed out with the talent show and everything, and the music showcase. It was phenomenal, by the way. You guys did a phenomenal
Look, I'm
job
gonna have
with
to
that.
get all your info
But
for
that's
your casting calls. Like, if people want to show up to your casting calls, because look, I want to get into acting. If anybody else wants to get into
well,
acting,
just
like,
call
how
just
can they?
call me.
If people
So
wanted to get
so
involved and to follow you and see your work and get involved with working with you, how can they get in touch with you?
awesome. So what you guys can do, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I don't know if it's going to be right here or right there, wherever you guys do it. Just call me El Latino. So just call me EL Latino. Just call me El Latino. I post on there all the time. You guys can also follow James Wright Official, who's our executive producer. You can follow James. He's posting stuff all the time. Um, uh, the biggest ways to follow, keep in touch. Our pages are private while we're filming, but we do accept, it's been a lot of followers wanting to come in. We're looking for every race, every size, every sexuality. I definitely want to give a shout out to our transgender community. If you guys could hit me up as well. We've been trying to, we want everybody a part, man. Look, I don't care what sexuality, what race, what religion you are, what color you are. I love everybody, and I love everybody equally. And we're not here to say, "Oh, I'm gay." Like I'll tell you this. You're gonna be shocked when you see strong gay men playing masculine roles in our films, because it's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I don't care who you love. I love everybody. I don't care what it is that you
Mm-hmm.
prefer. I prefer you. And that's my
Mm-hmm.
heart where I want everybody. Uh, Kids, have your parents reach out to us if you're under the age of 18. But yeah, we here for it. If you guys want to reach out, we're here. Princess, when are you gonna be in the movie though? Like, what are you trying to do?
Look, I'm trying to do something. Like, I got my little reel out there. I said I need to do some more reels so I can show people like what I can do.
Send it to
But
James. Send it over to James.
I need to send it over. I need to send it over. That'd be my problem. I need to send it over.
Yeah, listen,
I don't be
we
wanting
send
to
it.
just send stuff and be blowing up people DMs and stuff. I don't be wanting to be that type.
Girl, I'm telling you, blow me up, girl. What's good? So no. On a side note, too, Princess Singers, we can use you. So hear my cry. We did, instead of doing like studio recording, no, we had live church. Live. I'm talking about live church
Okay.
recording. We did it that way. Our music producer, Joshua Foster, who works with Tyler Perry and the Rue Brothers. He's actually here. I might call him just so you can say hi to him. We're here editing right now. I don't know if you can see, we're in an editing bay right now, editing this film, because it's supposed to come out April 17th, so we gotta hurry up. But he's done a phenomenal I know, right? He's done a phenomenal job scoring this thing, Princess. All the music from P. Will. Also, yes, I need to give a shout out to P. Will. His name is P. Will. Go look him up on every platform. P. Will has never acted a day in his life. He's a music artist. And when I tell you that he came in making us cry, this man gave an Oscar-worthy performance. I've been a part of Oscar-winning performances, Golden Globe-winning performances. When I tell you this young, I call everybody a kid. This young man, P. Will, you guys need to look out for him. Also, Joshua Smith, who plays the lead in our film of Oliver, and P. Will plays Blake. Phenomenal. I mean, Josh came in here and just shut it down. If you guys watch the sneak peek, he's the one at the altar crying out to God, like, yo, why my family? I mean, the whole
Okay.
cast,
Okay.
the whole Lyric and LeVay and the whole cast, they did, well, I'll tell you, a phenomenal
And it
job,
looked like it in
man.
the sneak peek. When I seen the sneak peek, it made me be like, I want to see this right now. Like I wanted to watch it, the whole movie right then and there. But the thing that I liked about the sneak peek is the trailer was that you didn't give away too much. Because I feel like most trailers, it'll tell you all of the good parts in the movie, and then when you watch the movie, it's not good. So I feel like you gave
Yeah.
enough to make people interested.
Well, what I did was when I was putting the trailer together, the editor JJ Kibbe, he's the editing producer. Um, he asked me, "What do you want in the trailer?" And James kind of looked at me the same thing. I said, "I want a trailer that don't make no sense. I want a trailer that shows just enough. I want a trailer. We have that song "Heal the Land" by Sean Stewart. LaShawn Stewart and her husband Brandon Godfrey. They actually have the Motown residency in Las Vegas, and they're in the film as well. She sings live in the film as well. I wanted to give enough of the movie away to make you want to watch it. But I didn't want the whole storyline out there. But when you watch the sneak peek, the part that moved me the most and that made me cry when we were actually filming it, if you watch Oliver at the altar with his girlfriend Chris, and all of a sudden here comes a Spanish boy, then a white boy to kneel down at the altar with him. That's what hit home. And watch this, it had nothing to do with the altar, but God has a way of bringing people together. And that was
Mhm.
the thing, and
Mhm.
that was the thing that really hit me most. I'm telling you guys, and I don't know if you can attach the sneak peek to here, but I'm telling you guys, if you guys go to my page, just call me a Latino and request me, inbox me if I don't approve it, say, hey, I want to watch, the sneak peek. It's going to, little Q did the intro to it. He said, grab a box of tissues. Yeah, you're gonna need it. I mean, it's that emotional. But it's real. It's real, and it's not corny. It's not lame. It's not let's worship Jesus throughout the whole movie. It's not even that, y'all. Like we talk
No,
about
it's not.
real shit in this movie. I'm telling you.
Look, I posted a part of it on my page because I wanted people to, start getting ready and gearing up for it. So I posted a little snippet of it because I feel like it's going to be a good movie. I feel like it's going to be empowering to people. So that's why I like movies like
Yeah,
that empowers you. It's got a message within it. Like it's a good movie to watch, but there's a message in it that you can get out of it as well.
yeah, Princess, you're not lying. And listen, I don't ever hype up something I've written, or there's a lot of stuff you guys watch on TV that I've written. Um, I'm proud of Hear My Cry, and the script itself is up for, I think, 4 different awards, including best script, best screenplay, stuff like that. I'm proud of what I wrote, and I'm proud of what I wrote because if you write something and it doesn't change your life as a writer, if it doesn't have a message, there's so much garbage out there right now. Not clowning anybody who's writing. Everybody likes to laugh and stuff like that. You're gonna laugh in this film, but you're gonna cry. And I have the book Hear My Cry coming out as well. I actually wrote the book first before I did the movie. The theme of the book is how to live when everything around you is dying, when all you have left is your cry. Um, I lost my father. We buried him on a Christmas Eve. A few months later, weeks later, we buried my brother, who was my best friend. And then my other best friend, TC Clay, you guys can Google him. He committed suicide on the road. And I lost everybody, just everybody that mattered to me. I lost my mother before my dad died. My mother was on life support and she pulled out. So I was dealing with that into my dad's death, into the death of my brother. And so the characters in the film, like we have every film I write, I have a Jocelyn. Why? Because Jocelyn was a girl that I dated that pissed me off. So every film that I have, I have a Jocelyn. But I named the characters after people that I know. And
Okay.
because
You ain't worry about no
they're,
backlash with that, with those people coming back and saying nothing.
I mean, God bless them. I mean, no, not my friends. Even the girl Jocelyn, she called me up. I'm gonna get backlash from this. She called me up. She's like, Latino, really? I mean, it was funny because the Christmas movie. What happened was I wrote the Christmas movie and I sold it, right? And a very well known script writer that writes very well known love stories. I'll leave it at that because the Christmas story is a love story. Calls me up and he says, "Hey, even though we bought your story, he says, do you want to be in your story?" Now, Princess, I'm usually 55 pounds lighter. I usually got my Hawaii body, like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
They had me put on 55 pounds to do that role. I was like, y'all really want me to do the own role?
oh,
Because they wanted to make it about a girl who's sexy, Hawaii, typical, what status quo is sexy, fall in love with somebody she's not even used to. And I said, so y'all got to
okay,
put on weight for so
okay.
so so the so the crazy part about it is that I named the girl Jocelyn in the script, so here I am yelling at a Jocelyn. And then when they asked me to do one, because I don't ever try to be in my own films because my film schedule is tight. I film other places like as an actor. So and then they say, hey, you're gonna be one and hear my cry. I'm like, yo, it's like the X don't ever go away. It's like I'm yelling at Jocelyn every damn movie. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so the girl called me up, who's Jocelyn. Hey, Jocelyn, how are you? She called me up and she says Latino, and the thing was because I have her blocked, but she called me from a private number, I think, and so I picked up the phone. She's like Latino, and I knew the voice as soon as I heard it. I said, "What's up?" She's like, "Another one." I said, "In the words of DJ Khaled, another one." Like I got it. And so nah, I'm not worried about. Honestly, I don't give a damn about backlash. People are gonna complain no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm exposing their real personal lives, but I named them after real characters that are going through real things in their life. Jocelyn's the only one who really don't like me in real life. She liked me. She loved me actually, but she's
You
a little
love
bit
her
upset
too.
now.
You still
Yeah,
take
for
the
sure.
phone call.
Oh, let me tell you something. I don't want to get too much into my personal life, but even my exes that people know that they see me like at the Oscars with and stuff like that, it's all love. We all cool. You know what I'm saying? Stuff happens. I wish them well. My ex is doing Black Adam right now. I believe one of them and stuff like that. I wish every see the problem is when you date. Let me tell you something, Prince. Let's have a date. Let's switch to a dating conversation, right? So when you date, the problem is that y'all spend so much time wanting to break down a woman's wall, and when you break down a wall, you get like a lot of dust, a lot of clutter in real life instead of climbing over the damn thing. And if you take the time to climb over the damn thing, even if things don't end very well, you'll still be cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm one of those that it's awkward. I go to a premiere or to the Oscars. I went to the Oscars last year, and you walk in the carpet, you see one of your exes, and you're like, oh snap! I just wrote about her in the film. I hope she didn't watch it. And like she'd come up to me and she like, and I was like, oh man. So now I'm cool. I'm obviously cool with most of my exes, man. You know, you got your one or two crazies. You know what I'm saying? But crazy is the new sexy to me, so it's cool. You got your one or two crazies
But
though,
so speaking of
princess.
your one or two crazies and stuff, when it comes to being in the industry, like speak on the kind of people you dealt with and encountered
Sure.
dealing in the industry.
Uh, um, are we referring to dating in the industry, or are we just talking about in general?
Just in general, like because I know you done dealt with some stuff being on different films and working with
Okay.
different films.
So
I know.
I don't, I'll never bash any particular actor. I've had a chance to work with some great people. Even though they're annoying in real life, and ladies, annoying is not attractive. Um, they're still great actors and great talents. Okay. How do we deal with it? It's simple. You're there for a job. You know, if I'm with somebody and they see me do a sex scene, they know that I'm there to do a job. Ladies, if you can't handle your men on screen and you're insecure, don't date a dude in the industry. Women, men, if you can't help to see a sexy lady on screen kissing another man, don't be with them because we're not stopping our careers for nobody. Okay. What I've learned is just, princess, I stay focused. I do the biggest nut jobs we have are the extras. See, the extras will come in. You can't have movies without extras, right? But the extras will come in acting like they Denzel, or they Taraji for real. Yo, you might look like Queen Latifah, but you ain't Queen Latifah, babe. Let me, and even then, those people don't be giving us a hard time. Like you have your so I'm gonna teach you the skill: D list, C list, B list, A list. Right? That's the way it goes. D list, C list, B list, A list actors. I think extras are like right here on the list though. Like they come in super extra. That word. I'm telling you. Now, don't get me wrong. People have come in for extra work, and I end up casting them for the movie because they that extra. You get what I'm saying? But the
Okay,
biggest problem
okay.
we have are always the extras. I can do this. I can do that. Man, I had one. Let me say something. I had this one girl. She'd come up to me, and I had thought maybe she was a union rep or something. She came up to me, puts her arm around me on set, and she's like, "Hey, Poppy," and she kisses me on the cheek. I said, "Hey, what's up?" Now I'm thinking of somebody who knows me because I don't always have time to look back. Like, "Hey, what's up?" And I look away. In my culture, we kiss everybody on the cheek. I kiss everybody on the cheek. COVID or no COVID, you're getting kissed by Latino on the cheek. You know what I'm saying? So she come over and kind of, but then she did it again. The hell? And she's like, "Hey, my name is so," I almost said her name. "My name is so and so, and da 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 da, and I want to be in your movie." Security, uh,
You done messed up
security,
already. You messed
like,
up.
like. But it was bold of her to do.
You
But
messed up
girl,
before
don't
it
be
even
going through
started.
COVID and stuff. Get it off my face. Like, and then you run
It
into
was
the
over
and
before it
then
even started.
yeah, and then Princess, I also run into the ones that are worth it though. I run into the ones that we had All-Star Weekend. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I was by your guys' table, and you guys were checking people in the lobby. Were you there at All-Star Weekend?
All Star was that? Yeah, I
Atlanta.
was there. Mhm.
Okay, so the big tent they had outside.
Mhm.
So I was in the tent, and somebody approached me like, "Latino, Latino, Latino, come here, come here, come here, come here." I say, "Hey," and everybody yells my name, but I don't know everybody. But I'm cool. Like, "Hey, what's up?" I give everybody a hug. I don't care. So what's up? Yo, I've approached a certain individual, and I've interviewed this individual several times, and now I'm on the stalker list at the studio. Okay, why are you on the stalker list? Well, I keep calling to try to get more interviews, but this person told me to move to Atlanta. They would give me a job. Now I'll work for this person. So I'm like, okay, there has to be more to the story. But I said, "Hey, what is it that you need?" A break. Well, everybody needs a break. What can I do for you though? And she began explaining to me what she's been through since she's been here. Now you can tell when people are BSing, but you can also tell when people are telling the truth. So I said, "Look,
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you this contact list. This is who you want to call. Cool." But also, so for instance, it's like you run into people that are so desperately wanting to be in the industry also that they'll do anything. Ladies, I'm gonna tell you this right now, and it goes for the ladies mostly. You ain't
Why
gotta
just the
sleep with
ladies?
nobody because the guys, they nasty anyways. Listen, ladies, I'm gonna tell you something. You don't have
Okay,
to
well,
sleep
talk to
with
the
no
ladies.
man. Lady, all right. First of all, ladies, every day that you wake up, take your crown, shine it up, and put that thing on. But also honor the crown that you wear. Ladies, you don't have to sleep with no guy. You ain't got to be out here sucking no. You ain't got to be bent over in front of nobody in order to land yourself a real Hollywood role. Let's take all that out of there. Real, models, same thing. If you
Amen.
can't take another girl to a photo shoot with you, then you ain't got no business going. Of the photographer don't let you go. You ain't gotta be all out there to be sexy. You don't have to. You don't have to be out there to be noticed. Sometimes it just takes a hello. Ladies, you're so. What I've experienced, and it's funny, Princess. So I was a casting director for a TV show that's coming out, right? Very well known show. Another season's coming. I walk in the casting room. I put on 55 pounds because of the role that I just played in, right? And I got all these girls clowning me. They're clowning me like, oh my God, he looked like one. They said I look like a fat French Montana, is what they said, right? So I didn't say nothing. I sat in the room with them in the waiting area just to see people's personalities, yo. Just to see how people were. Because first of all, if you're not kind to everybody, I don't want you on my set. I don't care how good of an actress you are. Kiss my ass, really, and leave. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? So I was sitting there, and they started calling people, and so the group of girls that were doing it, I texted the casting producer. I said, call these three at the same time, and they did, and I went and sat in the room at the table. And they're like, oh, you're auditioning too? I said, no, I'm actually the casting director. Then all of a sudden, oh my God, he's so cute. Oh my God, da 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 da. Oh my God, and doing whatever you right, doing whatever you have to do to become part of a film, princess. And ladies, I'm gonna say this: love yourself first, respect yourself, honor yourself, because it's mostly the ladies that are going around thinking, hey, I want to be in a film that bad. Just put the work in. You'll get 1,000 no's, but you'll get that
But so
one
here's,
yes. I'm
but you
telling
know
you.
what? Here's my question though. Here's my question
Absolutely.
though. Do you think that females do that because it's known or being said that if they sleep with the person that they gonna get on?
Oh, they're
Is
getting
that
on something,
typically
but
what
it
happens?
ain't on a movie. They're getting on something, but it's not a movie. I mean, look. First of all, so let me be silly for a second. If that's what you believe, then you sleeping with the wrong person. Okay, like, oh my God, I slept with the graphic designer from Tyler Perry's da 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 da. He told me he gonna girl, how graphic designer gonna put you on a film?
Yeah, that is
Like,
true. That is true.
you know what I'm saying?
That is true. But if
So
they sleep
so
with you, then they might got a role in the film.
but here's the thing, I ain't a hoe no more. So no more, right?
Okay.
So
But when you was a hoe, you was
I'll
doing it
be
how?
transparent. No, I wasn't, because I wasn't a casting director at the time. I used to lie and tell people I was a casting
Okay.
director, but I was really like pushing paperwork. like, 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 truth be told. So we have Toya Mormon. She plays First Lady in the film, right? Toya has this saying. Toya has this saying on set that says these hoes need mentoring, because we have T-shirts that say these hoes need mentoring, because they people listen, and this is the guys too. So shout out to all the guys hoeing around too. It's bad. And for some reason, Atlanta is super bad. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get with him. And no, no, listen, no, yeah, I'm scared of you. You ain't coming near me. And we see it with our own eyes. Like, how is it that you're trying to sit on the co-producer's lap, and we just met you 10 minutes ago? So we have the saying that these hoes need mentoring. Like, listen, you don't have to you don't have to sleep with nobody. Like if you want to, look, we all love sex here, right? This is Sex Radio 2HotRadio. Okay, we can talk about sex too,
Oh,
right?
you
So
good.
we all love it. We all love it, right? I'm a Scorpio. I really love sex. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Scorpio. I'm
I'm
a
a
freak.
Gemini, so.
Hey, woo. So at the end of the day, it's like sex is cool, but you don't have to come on set trying to sleep with everybody to just try to get. You know what I'm saying? That's a myth. If they tell you
Hmm.
if you sleep with them, they'll put you on. Now, if you're sleeping with like Michael Bay or Tyler Perry or whatever y'all doing your own time, you might have a chance. But what you girls need to understand is even these producers want to keep their girls silent. So why are they going to put you in the film?
Hmm. Exactly.
The
I
truth
like
comes
that you
out,
touched on
princess.
that. I like that you touched on that. Look, I like that you touched on that. But I want you to tell the people one more time, before we end this, I want you to tell the people one more time where they can find you at, when this film is coming out, and what platforms it's going to be on.
Since I look like Spike Lee right now, I think you guys can reach me. Shout out to my boy Spike. Hear My Cry, rated PG-13. Families, you can bring your kids. It's rated PG-13 because we do got gunfire and somebody takes a bullet in the movie. So it is because of gunfire. The language is minimal. Help his damn. It ain't nothing you ain't saying at home to your spouse that your kids don't hear you. Okay. In theaters April 17th, in select theaters April 17th, but we're also doing private premieres everywhere. I think we're headed down. You guys are in Florida? Where you guys at, Florida?
Well, I'm located in Atlanta right now, but we're going to be in Vegas next weekend.
We are in Vegas. We have the Westgate Hotel is hosting us for 2 nights and a big premiere. But the schedule will be out. I'll make sure you get it. So if you want to share it with your people as well, you
Okay.
can also hit me on Instagram and just call me El Latino. You can hit our executive producer, James Wright, at James Wright Official. He's always posting stuff. Hear My Cry in theaters April 17th. Like, y'all need to go too. Like, don't be done. I use the word done a lot, right? D-O-N-E. Done is more than just a word. It's a movement and a lifestyle. I'm telling you, don't be done. If you miss this movie, you're really gonna. I mean, when everybody brags about their movies, but watch the trailer. You're going to love this movie.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for sitting down to discuss this with me, giving me a little
Absolutely.
inside scoop. I can't wait to tune into the movie. And I
And
will be in
listen,
touch. Trust and believe.
be in touch. And listen, if I could leave y'all with the message, love on each other, love one another. Women, gentlemen, let's honor the crowns these ladies wear. Women, let's honor the crowns these kings wear as well. Y'all need to love each other. Stop the crap. Stop the BS. Just love one another.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it.